Right, it's basically a video about Chinese water dragon, care, and just basic essentials. Firstly, a Chinese water dragon is a climbing lizard and it's from the Chinese rainforest. So it needs tall enclosures. Now, length isn't really much of a worry. As long as it's longer than the actual lizard when it's fully grown, it's okay. This one is about 4 foot long by 6 foot high by 3 foot deep. That basically means now that the whole water dragon can do a whole 360 when it's fully grown, and he'll be fine and be nice and happy. First of all, obviously these are from the Chinese rainforest, so they need high humidity levels, 70% to be precise. Anything above 70% does mimic breeding seasons, but we won't talk about that. Basically, there's two ways you can reach the humidity levels. Firstly, you can spray it with a pressured bottle, which you can get from any garden centre or fish store or anything like that, B&Q. They're about £5 and they're worth every penny. Just spray it 3 times a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one about 2 hours before the lights go off. Right, if we come close, basically you'll see at the bottom, I've got coconut husk mixed with like basic coconut chippings. Obviously, to keep the humidity nice and well, it's really good to use. But then again, I've known people to use tiles in their vivariums. That's what I will be using shortly. Basically, you've got a lot of fake plantage. Obviously, you come from the rainforest. There's a lot of leaves. There's a lot of trees. At the bottom, I've just basically got this big type of bush fake plant and a fake little flower, and that's basically it for down here, and like bits of wood that creates little hiding spots. But 99% of the time, he's never down here. He's only down here when he tries to catch some food. I've got a 3 foot fish tank in here. Obviously that would be good for him to have a nice swim. Obviously they like to swim, but saying that, I still give him a bath at least once a week, just so he can get his exercise and help with the shedding process. Now I've got a water heater in there, mainly because I've got tropical fish. Now obviously warmer water he'd be happy to go in, and if it's colder he kind of just shoots straight back out of it. Obviously decoration, completely up to you. I just decorate to make it look a bit pretty. On this side I've got a waterfall filter. Now the waterfall filter obviously keeps the water nice and clean. Also, because it's a waterfall, it helps the humidity process because it's running water. And if you come up, basically I've got a lot of this. There's again more fake plants mimicking what would be treetops. I've got a lot of branches here and there and everywhere, but I mean this vivarium is still a bit sterile due to putting a 3D background in quite soon. And this is my Chinese water dragon. Let's get a full shot of him. He's about 1.5 years old now, touching 1.5, possibly 2 foot. I haven't really measured him. He never sits still long enough to do it. Obviously, I've got, this is like the hotter side of the Viv. You've got 2 trees there. You've got his basking spot, which I'm using a 160 watt Mega Ray UV and heat bulb. These are a lot better than your average strips and better than obviously putting spot bulbs in, due to the fact you only need 1 plug. I give mine a 12-hour day cycle, but 14 hours in the winter, so he doesn't get into brumation. Basically, as I said, taller Vivs, they love climbing. They're very, very eye-catching lizards, as you can see. Unfortunately, mine's in a shed, so it doesn't look that great. That's basically it, really. I mean, all you need is the following. You need, obviously, heat and UV light. You need at least a 10%, 12% UVB bulb. You want desert due to MBD risks. But as I said, the Mega Ray bulb is fine. They mainly eat locust or crickets. That's their main diet, or Morios or mealworms or even waxworms. Waxworms more of a treat because of their fattiness. Now you see a lot of people on YouTube feeding their water dragons pinkies. Pinkies should only be done under 2 ways. Firstly, if it's underweight, then give it a pinky twice, maybe 3 times a week maximum, and that's pushing it if it's really underweight. They're pure fat, and it's not good for them to be eating them a lot. I feed mine pinkies once a month, maybe twice a month, depends on obviously the weight issues. As you can see, there's a difference between male and female. I did have a female, but I had to get rid of her, unfortunately, so he didn't really like her. Is this bit here is the crest. Taller the crest generally means a male. As you can see, he's not really that friendly. Well, he is quite friendly, but he doesn't like to sit still. As I said, he's a very, very, very good lizard, but again, they need a lot of care. That's basically it, really. As I said, taller Vivs are always the best. Obviously, fish tanks are always good. Fish tanks, a lot of swimming, And if you're going to put fish in your tank, like I've got fish, put tropical fish in there. Mainly to do with the fact that goldfish carry way too much parasites and they're actually quite bad for them. 9 times out of 10 they shouldn't really eat fish. They only really eat fish if they're really desperate for food. And obviously if they start eating fish regularly, it means you've got to up his feeding bill. Mine will eat about 5 to 10 crickets a day, possibly, but then if I give her locust, locust, then you're looking somewhere around the case of 4 or 5 maximum, and you'll have about 2 or 3 later on. Water dragons don't really eat veg or anything like that. They don't really bother with it. If you can try and get yours to eat it, then fair play, but normally they will only eat it if it's fast moving. The way to feed them, what I would highly suggest, is part of the taming process, hand feed them. Always hand feed your Chinese water dragon, but not overly. So obviously, say in the 7-day week, hand feed 5 times, but get them to actually hunt physically twice. And then obviously as they get tamer, you can gradually bring this down to the point where you don't actually have to hand feed them, but you can if you want. That's basically it. If you've got any other questions, or you want me to make another video on something else, then leave me a message. Cheers.